know what I like to do after spending a nice long day getting yoked at the gym? I like to talk about biology with my friend, Cade. So let's go do this. Go on a biology joyride. Let's have some fun with it too. Hey Cade.
Yeah.
You ready to go on a biology adventure and to talk about the circulatory system?
I don't know. Are you? Oh! Hey there, I didn't see you. Sorry, I'm just working on my 1982 Toyota Celica. But never mind this. Today we're going to talk about the open circulatory system as well as the gastrovascular cavities.
Oh hey, didn't see you there. I really don't know too much about anything, but what I do know about is the open circulatory system. Now let me tell you, the open circulatory system is kind of like this bike right here. Actually, it's not like this bike at all. I really don't know too much about bikes to begin with, but I do like to show bikes, so it looks like I know stuff about alternate sources of transportation, because I don't really know how to drive a car either. So let's get into the open circulatory system now. Open circulatory system has to do with an outer tissue and an inner tissue. This inner tissue is what's inside of the outer tissue. And what happens is it diffuses so that the nutrients can get inside of this inner tissue. That is inside of the gastrovascular cavity. Now the gastrovascular cavity of these things is not usually very thick. It's usually two tissues thick-ish, not very thick at all. So the nutrients don't have to diffuse very far to get into the inner tissue and give it its nutrients. Now let me tell you something though. Planarians got a real nice gastrovascular cavity, and it's real nice and flat, so they got a lot of surface area, so all that fluid can diffuse real easily into the inner tissues and the organs inside of it. That's the open circulatory system, and if you have any more questions, I don't know what to tell you.
Another thing to add on to the open circulatory system is they're usually found in vertebrates. This is my 1983 Toyota Celica. Now we're going to move on to the closed circulatory system.
Oh, hey there. I was just working on my chopper. It's actually a lawnmower. It's called a chopper, even though a chopper is technically a type of motorcycle. Well, anyways, we're going to talk about the closed circulatory system. Now, there's one thing you need to know about the closed circulatory system. It's kind of like this jack. Actually, it's kind of like this. You know, it's nothing like any of my props. I just like to show you, I'm a handyman. I like to do lawn work. What can I say? So the closed circulatory system is actually most similar to me because I have it. It's in most mammals. Actually, it's in all mammals. The closed circulatory system involves different veins and arteries and a heart. Now what this closed circulatory system does is it usually has higher blood pressure because the blood has to flow through different veins in the body to get to where it needs to go to give nutrients to the different organs directly. So what happens first? You breathe. You get oxygen. Goes into your lungs. And what these lungs do is blood runs past them, goes into the heart. Well, while it's running past it, oxygen diffuses into the blood, which causes the blood to become oxygen rich. And then it goes, first it's gone through one of the ventricles and then atrium, then it comes out. It actually goes through both the ventricles, then goes out, comes to the atrium, goes out, and then becomes oxygen rich in the atriums, and then it goes out to the rest of the body, and giving all that oxygen rich blood to all the other different organs in your body, which is needed because that oxygen is a gas that's desperately needed to help your body function. So, a closed circulatory system is just amazing. It's a little different than the open circulatory system. Open circulatory system, the pressure inside is not as much because the blood is pooled and able to spread. It's the closed circulatory system, blood pressure can raise up because it's inside those veins. So, if you'll excuse me, I gotta get back to work.
Oh hey, this is my 1983 Lamborghini Countach. It's pretty sweet. One more thing you forgot to mention, that the closed circulatory system is in vertebrates. Now we're going to move on to blood vessels.
Oh hi kid, I guess today's skateboard working out, Jay? Well yeah. Well, man, I remember Last time we were working on our skateboards was with old Kyle there.
Oh, man.
Kyle was so dumb. He had that wreck, didn't he?
Yeah.
I bet he didn't use the jack to check out his skateboard. Good thing we're checking out our wheels and getting ours all polished for the upcoming skateboarding season over in Palm Beach. I just remember when Kyle fell, I vaguely remember he was bleeding from something. Was it an artery?
I think so.
Do you know much about these arteries?
No, I don't.
Let's go find out more.
I just found out that the cardiac cycle pumps oxygen-rich blood through the arteries to the organs, and then the organs pump oxygen-poor blood through the veins to the heart.
Hi, Christian back again, and I found about a new blood vessel called the capillaries. I found information on it on the interweb, which is created by the military, it's pretty interesting. It's also very new, so kids, make sure you're safe while you're using it. Anyways, I found that capillaries, they're very thin, porous walls from networks called capillary beds. These infiltrate each tissue. And then chemicals, including dissolved gases, are exchanged across the thin walls of the capillaries between the blood and interstitial fluid. At their downstream end, the capillaries converge into venules, and venules converge into veins, which usually return blood to the heart. Back to you.
This is my 1983 Chevrolet Camaro. It's pretty sweet too. Now, we're going to talk more about the heart.
Oh hey, I'm just playing sports, get my cardiovascular looking good. While we're on the topic of cardiovascular, do you know what that means, the heart? Let me tell you about the heart. Fish hearts usually have two chambers, the atrium and the ventricle, but our heart has four chambers. It has a right atrium, a left atrium, a right ventricle, and a left ventricle. Heart goes through something called the cardiac cycle. And what the cardiac cycle is when your heart gets the blood, takes the oxygen-poor blood, makes it oxygen-rich through your lungs, and then pushes it back up to go to the rest of your organ. That's one time your heart goes. So when you hear your heart going, you know, wow, just did a cardiac cycle. The heart is also controlled by electrical impulses. These impulses tell the heart when to open up and to close, to keep the blood inside of your heart, and then to make it oxygen-rich, and then send it back out to your other organs.
I'm really good at sports. Now, we're going to talk about the different valves in the heart.
First valve we're going to talk about is the atrioventricular valve. It prevents the blood from going back in the atria when the ventricles contract.
Next, the heart has two semilunar valves. These prevent backflow from the vessels to the ventricles while the ventricles are relaxing.
Thanks for joining us today on this beautiful day. This has been Biology with Christian
And Cade, who said white man can't jump?
Oh my gosh.